Have you ever wanted to create something but didn't know where to start? One way they can help is by creating a reference. References come in handy when you have a vision in mind but don't have a clear starting point. I've been drawing since I was little and have taken art classes throughout high school, which has required me to use references along the way. References can be created out of anything tangible or found online and can be used for creating artwork. Today, I will be showing you how to find a reference and create it to fit your liking, and then showing you how to prepare your canvas, and finally, how you can grow from your reference and create a more personalized piece.
For this video, I will be focusing on scenery references, but the process works the same for any reference you'd like to use. First, open a Google search and type generally what you want, like mountain road, hiking trail, or forest, for example. Adding the words photography or 4K to your search will help you find photos that are higher resolution. This allows there to be less blur if you zoom in. Once you find your image, save it to your computer and then open it up in your photos and go to edit. I'm making mine an 8x8, so I'll be using the square ratio, and press save once you've adjusted the photo to your liking. Since I plan to print this out, I will open it in a Google document. Press insert, then select image and upload from computer. A normal piece of printer paper is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, so to get my image to scale, I have to adjust the indent locations. You are going to select the blue arrow looking dash at the top left of your page and move it over to the negative 0.75 spot. On the top left, move the arrow to the 7.25 spot. Select your image and resize it to fit within those lines. Then you will print the image out and you have a tangible reference to work with. Now we can move on to actually putting our reference to work. We will start by creating a small grid around all sides of the picture. We will also do the same on the canvas later. Don't worry about it looking like a perfect grid, we just need it roughly sketched out. With our grid now complete, we can start working on our actual canvas. I keep my hands very relaxed in this stage to keep my shapes from becoming too stiff. When I start painting, I'll just end up covering it up anyway. Now to work on the actual paint part of the project. I start by getting basic colors like brown, green, red, and blue blocked out into a few shapes, following what I had already sketched out. At this point, I want to try to keep as close to my reference as possible and just making sure that my shapes are all in the right spot and that my forms look correctly. I just try to keep the rough shape of the trees and working with colors that are very simplified and easy to use. After letting the paint slightly dry, start to go over and create darker shapes. For mine, that is darkening the tree trunk and the dirt. We want to cover up the pencil lines we created with our grid earlier so that they don't show through in our final piece. After painting all the general forms, I'm going to start to bring some white paint into the process. I'm taking some creative liberties from my reference because the reference is so much lighter than the paint I'm using. And for this piece, I want it to look like a dark, eerie forest. The main idea with references is to give you a point to start from, and once you get into the groove of what you want to create, you can start to put it more off to the side. Whether you have a loose approach to painting or a tight one, referencing allows you to match shapes and colors, creating a more believable piece if you want it to be based off a real place or object. No art is meant to look the same. If you enjoy it, that's what matters. And here's the final piece. Today, I hope you have learned how to create a usable reference, how to apply it to your canvas, and not to be confined to the reference's limitations. With how many things that can be considered references, they are all able to be worked off and given their own spin. Getting a leg up on your own ideas can maybe give you the jumpstart you needed.